आली रे डोंगा कोकड़ो कोको ऊपर से आली रे डोंगा आली रे डोंगा कोकड़ो कोको डोंगा उठा रे येशू निंद गेला डोंगा उठा रे येशू निंद गेला डोंगा हिले डुले डोंगा चकामाका डोंगा हिले डुले डोंगा चकामाका नीचे से आली रे डोंगा कोकड़ो कोको नीचे से आली रे डोंगा कोकड़ो कोको डोंगा उपारे येशू निंद गेला डोंगा उपारे येशू निंद गेला डोंगा हिले डुले डोंगा चकामाका डोला हिले डुले डोला चकामाका.
So please give a big round of applause to you all and thank you very much.
Now we will begin the presentation of 4 thrust areas.
I request the Secretary of various commission, Reverend Father Vivian Lobo, Reverend Father Joseph Polischetti, Reverend Father Jay Prakash, Mr. Velvin Pagya, to kindly come on the dais and occupy their seats. Father Joseph Polischetti, kindly come.
Catholic education aims not only to communicate facts, but also to transmit a coherent and comprehensive vision of life.
In the conviction that the truth contained in that vision liberates students in the most profound meaning of human freedom, we shall now have the trust area presentation on education. Dear speakers, kindly keep the presentation short as directed by Father Jose.
Hello. Most Reverend Archbishop Elias Gonsalves, Vicar General Father Anthony D'Souza, today's our felicitator Father Joseph, dais, all the fathers on the dais, Reverend fathers, sisters, and my dear brothers and sisters in Christ Jesus. As expected that each commission should present, I have prepared in the long this one. So I don't know where to stop, where to begin, or what to say. But as Father told, and with such a way you'll poke, I don't know, I got frightened that one. So according to that one, our education committee sat down, Father Anthony, Father Prashant, and all our committee members thoroughly discussed about this one. And I am going to present that with you. It's not moving. You kindly help me to... Yeah, because so many slides are prepared. Please pass it on. Yeah. So I actually started what is the education, what are the different people's the idea of this education, what is the church view. As a whole, I was taking that one. But right now, all the people, most of us working in the education field, we know what is education exactly it is. But at the end, what is we needed is what is the aim, the objective, and strategy, the action plan. But already, since we have the draft in our hand, it is mentioned in that page number 25, if you can go through. But at the end, what I wanted to present here is the goal of our Catholic education is, within the next 10 years, our aim is to remodel our education institution, that they become leaders in providing holistic quality education given to all, especially in the diocese. What are the objectives? There are 6 points. The first one, equip the management with the skills in financial administration and professional management skills with a thorough knowledge of national, state, and local educational policies and practices and legal provisions. The second point, to ensure that the best available experienced faculty is selected and further trained in the pedagogical teaching, learning, techniques, and methodology. Third, to ensure that the administrative and supportive staffs are sensitized and in interpersonal skills required in the formation of the child. Fourth, to make the parents aware of the primacy of their preeminent role in the formation of their child, in loving and caring surroundings at home and in the school. Fifth, to strive to make formation student-centric leading them to become caring, responsible, and cooperative citizens. And the last point, to involve responsible person in the society to become interested stakeholders in the formation of the student and growth of the institution. These are the objectives what we have got to achieve that goal. What are the strategies? That is, orientation, interactive sessions, seminars, exposure programs, ongoing in-service training, counseling, and career guidance session, need-based session by experts. Example, management, staff, students, and parents always ask them to attend these kind of sessions and the training programs. And also, to invite different stakeholders to institution regularly, as now many of the schools are doing, like for the assembly, exhibitions, in order to support important causes like literacy, environment, health, hygiene, and nutrition. It is for making our way to the stakeholders. Action plan and program, as we saw, that many of the schools already we are doing, but continue to do. As Father told, once we go, the plan also goes. But for that, whatever we make, that is written and kept where they can be followed by even in the next person who comes. Because in the religious institution, most of the time we keep moving. To achieve these goals, we need a permanent members, or permanent people, a permanent plan prepared and kept in the institution. It's easy for the people to follow and continue to achieve our goal. For the 10 years plan to fulfill in the Archdiocese, there are few points which is mentioned here. To take leadership in implementing and adopting the national Catholic and Archdiocesan education policy. To ensure academic excellence in all the institutions. To equip all the priests and religious, particularly those who are principals and managers, with the administrative and academic training. Ensure provision for the periodic renovation and addition of infrastructure facilities in keeping with the corporate schools. Next, to take necessary steps for the financial strengthening development of the institution. And many more points like this are there that as we in the group we'll be discussing, because it already mentioned in your draft. Therefore, it is each and every person working in the institution, especially in our Catholic institution, the aim of the Catholic institution, Catholic Church is make a person a good human being. For that, all the fathers, brothers, sisters working in the institution, we are striving for that. For that, these are the objectives and the strategies which I presented. Definitely, if we follow, we can achieve the goal within 10 years. Thank you.
Catholic social justice teaches us that all people are made in the image of God and so possess an equal and inalienable worth.
Because of this essential dignity, each person has a right to all that is needed to allow him or her to live their full potential as intended by God. We shall now have the presentation on this important trust area of social ministry. I request Mr. Melvin to present the same.
So good afternoon, friends. Good afternoon, fathers, sisters, and Swamiji, Archbishop Velez Gonsalves. We had a very good lunch. Is it? Yes. So probably there is a chance to get sleep. You are allowed to sleep, but don't snore. It affects other people. So welcome back after the lunch. We are going to discuss, talk, reflect on the social ministry which Archdiocese Nagpur has initiated in 2021. And with this process, I think I'm jumping. Somebody can help me? Okay. So in this process, we were focusing in the three major areas where Archdiocese present is there. That is in tribal areas, that is in rural, and some of in the urban. Father Vivian Lobo and his colleague has explained the process of Synod which they have initiated in 2021, and they rightly process the Synod, and they brought some kind of concerns, challenges, and some kind of way forward that how we can take the things in 2027. So this was the process we have initiated in the tribal, rural, and the urban. So I'm mainly going to speak on these three areas where we have done some assessment and we have find out some kind of concerns, issues of the people. We have done this process to this PRA, it's called Participative Rapid or Rural Appraisal, where all the community comes together to share their experience, their knowledge, and they put the information together with these tools, and we get to know the real concerns of the community. We also try to have the focus group discussions with the communities where it was possible. And then we have some open meetings with the community to learn from them, to hear from them what are the real challenges. Especially the tribal areas, the Archdiocese is working with the three main tribals, that is the Gond, Baiga, and Urao. In rural, the Archdiocese main focus is on SC, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, and OBC, the other backward communities. And in urban, we have urban church presence as well as we have the rural. Especially if you go to Garatola, if you go to the Padri Thana, there we have the Catholics in the rural areas. The Archdiocese have implemented various social projects in the diocese. If you look at, there are so many projects that from last 20 years, Archdiocese is implementing in the various areas for the tribals, for the rural as well as the urban. There are some housing schemes, there are some other projects like Anugraha, there were some Save the Family projects, there are projects from Caritas as Jivan PLE, Jivan PLD, and now we are in the empowering animation process. So various programs, projects are implemented by Archdiocese to reach out to the communities where the other peoples they have not reached. While visiting and having these tools with the communities, we have identified some kind of challenge, some kind of issues, concerns of the people. We had one participatory rapid appraisal in Makaradokda village in Dattanagar, where almost a majority are the now Bauddhas and Dalits are there. So main issues of the community that since there is a coal mining companies there and lot of land has acquired by this company, and now people, they are finding very difficult to manage the livelihood. Basic amenities is one of the issues like water, like health facilities, like electricity. They are common for them. So there are people from this Dalit, they are really struggling to get their basic amenities. Sorry, previous. Lack of women participation in the Gram Sabhas. Though we say that the Women Gram Sabha is one of the great platform to raise the voice of the women, but the participation of the women is very passive. We say that if any decision taken by the Gram Sabha, even the Supreme Court cannot challenge. So this much power the government has given to the Gram Sabhas, but we see there is a lot of passive participation of the women. Education, especially the girls' education, is the real concern because before 18, they want to the girls get married. So a lot of these they are not encouraging for the education to go to the schools. Land documents, because of so many people, they have no land documents properly with them. Unity is another concern because हम लोग बोलते हैं कि गुंडों का संगठन करना बहुत आसान है, लेकिन सुसंस्कृत लोगों का संगठन करना बहुत कठिन है. हमारा कम्युनिटी का यही इशू है कि हम लोग दूसरों के लिए एक साथ आने के लिए तैयार है, लेकिन अपने प्रोग्राम के लिए, अपने सवालों के लिए अगर खड़ा होना है तो हमारे लिए बहुत बड़ी चैलेंजिंग हो जाती है. इफ चर्च इज गोइंग टू डिस्ट्रीब्यूट समथिंग, वी आर ईगर टू कम टुगेदर, बट इफ चर्च वांट्स टू डू समथिंग ऑन द इश्यूज, वी हैव लॉट ऑफ एक्सक्यूजेस. So this is we have seen in the villages. Next. We have done another focus group discussion in the Kisanpur village in Bichua block. Water is another issue. Alcoholism is a common in the community. There are family disputes. Lot of fight takes place in the families. Women issues, like I said in the Gram Sabhas. There are people that don't have the eligibility documents like ration card, caste certificate, or NRHA card. Lack of political educations. We are talking about not only the going for the voting, but how people can able to access to get their ration card, their caste certificate, their NRHA card. How we can help people to conscientize them that they can learn how to take these documents by themselves. And of course, health is another concern that I think the health ministry is going to speak in the presentation. Next. We had another in a tribal area, that is Garatola, where we have the majority of the Catholic population. And we have identified that these people, they are staying far away in the fields. So assessing them is very difficult. Electricity, because they don't have the electricity, it affects their agriculture as well as their school children educations. The documents, another issue. The government benefits, the welfare programs, reaching out to these people is another challenge, because some of the programs, they are not even reaching to these people because people, they don't have their document to produce. The marriage is one of the concern that most of the Catholics girls are marrying with the Muslims. So we need to literally think, reflect on these issues, how we can take over this issue. Lack of participation in governance, as I said, Gram Sabhas and all this. Faith formation is another, because the people are finding how we can build their faith very strongly, how we can give a God to them very strongly. That is another concern. Because people just seeking that, okay, Father ji kuch de rahe to church mein aana hai. Deforestation, because lot of forests we are losing, and the water is a concern because some of the people in the tribal areas, they go to the stream side, they dig the this place and they get the water to drink in the summer season. So it is another issue for this Garatola village. Next. Aroli is another village we have identified. Yeah. Okay. Next, these are some issues we have identified. Padrithana we have visited, we have conducted PRS, and some of the Catholics we have interacted where Archbishop also was present. Next. And from the water, unemployment, migration, alcoholism, the majority of the people, they don't have the ration card, school dropouts are there, then the village benefits only, they are not getting the government benefits. These are some concerns we have identified from the Padrithana villages. These are some areas we need to focus: women, education, agriculture, environment, health, and governance. So we can think about some line of action on these areas. Community organization, one of the strategy, we can organize the people, mobilize the people, networking with our Catholic Church as well as the external organizations, capacity building of the people as well as the lay and the priest, and coordination with all the NGO partners and other faith organizations which is present in this locality. We are suggesting that we can work on these different approaches, but now we are more focusing on empowering animation. And I think Father Joseph is here. He is very known. He has written a book on empowering animation. And his model is very popular in the empowering animation. Why we think of this empowering animation models? It enables people to see themselves as an asset. Because normally we see that people are the liabilities on us. They always demand, we want this, humko ye chahiye, humko wo chahiye. But in the empowering animation, we think that people are the assets. They have a lot of resources to contribute. They are also resourceful. And they also motives them to take decisions. Sometimes, most of the times, we take decision behalf of them. But if we really have this approach, where the community are really empowered and they take the decision on themselves and bring change from within, from the community. It talks about the 4 principles. Though we are working in the many social sectors, many social ministry, we always form the community-based organizations. Empowering animation, we talk about a lot of people-led organizations. We say people are resourceful and they can contribute. We also say people have a lot of knowledge and we can bring a lot of unity among them. These are 2 stories which I want to just reflect. This was this is last slide. That one of the community in the area, this Devli and Amgaon and Bhivgad, where people were having a lot of issues in the villages regarding their water, regarding their health, regarding their educations. The community took the initiatives and they come together to work on these issues. They had a lot of community meetings. Of course, the Nagpur Multipurpose Social Service Society, Father Balaraj and the team has organized these people very well. They guided them, they motivated them. The community decided to go to the MLA to take our issues to resolve this. The MLA initially said, it is not my cup of tea. Then again the community come together, they discuss and they decided to go to meet CM, Chief Minister. It was the 2020. And it's a wonder that CM has to come down to the village. The people have given the applications and many of the issues resolved because of the intervention of the CM. And this was done by the community. So friends, this is empowering animation we are talking. This is one of the best approach to work with the communities. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Health is the greatest of human blessings. All the money in the world can't buy you back good health.
With this thought, we move to our next presentation on health. I request Father Joseph Polichetti to kindly present.
Good afternoon to everyone. I stand here to share our reflections from the part of Health Commission. I have not many slides. I have prepared to the point. Goal, strategy, and objectives. With the 6 slides, I complete my presentation. So please be patient. Please go back. Yeah. Okay, go back, please. I start here. The church has always considered the sick an integral part of our mission, combining the preaching of the good news with the help and care of the sick. As Catholics, we are proud of Church's healthcare contribution to the world. Indeed, the hospital ministry was originally an innovation of the Catholic faithful, responding to our Lord's call to care for the sick. For I was ill and you cared for me. Based on this inspiration, the health ministry has begun in the world. Continue. So, goal of our health care in the Archdiocese of Nagpur. This is our goal, and we are aiming to achieve this goal. Health Ministry's goal for the next 10 years is to meet the health needs such as spiritual, physical, emotional, and mental of the people of Nagpur and surrounding districts, following the example of Jesus, our healer, through preventive medicine, primary, secondary, tertiary health care facilities, counseling centers, and retreat centers. This is our goal. And to achieve this goal, we have strategy to be followed, and we are going to implement this strategy to bring Health Commission active in the Archdiocese of Nagpur. The strategy what we have is meeting with the authorities like bishops, provincials, healthcare in charges in the diocese, trained counselors, retreat preachers, and healthcare committee. By meeting these qualified, eminent people, we will be able to achieve our goal. Task force should be formed with experienced expertise for monitoring and evaluating. Third, survey and keep of records, directory of health personnel, counselors of each parish, deanery and diocesan level. In the diocese, we find many expertise, so try to keep the record of these people to approach them. Record of retired medical personnel to be maintained. In the diocese, we come across many retired with experienced people to have contact with them. Naturopathy, alternative medicines to be introduced and encouraged. Networking with the government, private hospitals, and NGOs. These are our strategies to achieve the goal. The objectives what we have before us for next 10 years are follows. Individual fundraising by introducing a health card in each parish. Example, contribution of 50 rupees per family for a month. Fundraising committee at the diocesan and parish level. Lending of qualified personnel to the diocesan health ministry by different congregations and NGOs. In each congregation, there are qualified persons, and when they lend their services to the diocese, the goal can be achieved. Train personnel as doctors, nurses, paramedicals, and administrators. In next 10 years, maybe 5 doctors, 50 nurses, and 30 paramedicals for the next 10 years. When we do that, we will be achieving our goal. Financial and technical help for their studies and placement in the diocesan health centers. Trained personnel with the trained counselors for the counseling in each parish. Counseling centers under each deanery with the trained personnel to give service. And at last, 2 retreat centers in the diocese. When we have these plans put together with our objectives and strategies, we will be implementing effective health ministry in the Archdiocese of Nagpur. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Father. Faith is a gift of grace. God not only speaks to us, He also gives us the grace to respond. To believe in revelation, we need the gift of faith.
Peter was able to see that Jesus was the Messiah, not from flesh and blood, that is, not by the means of reason or common sense, but by the grace of the Father. Let us enter into our fourth presentation of the thrust area, faith.
I request Reverend Father Vivian Lobo to present on faith.
Thank you, Sibi and Jijo. Thank you, presenters. Dear fathers and sisters, Pope Francis has beautifully said about faith. Faith is having this conviction that even though we may have challenges, we will not be alone. So in our faith commission also, we have challenges, and yet we are here to formulate a sustainable faith-based program which will give us a value of having an effective witness value. So I would like to draw your attention at this slide, a very important definition of CC of 166, which says that each believer is a link in the great chain of believers. I cannot believe without being carried by the faith of others. And by my faith, I help support others in the faith. Therefore, each one's faith is very important. And this faith, to have an efficiency in this, we have various sections that we'll be dealing with. Next. So we are talking about creating a responsible ministry, a responsible witness value. And that will be created in various sections that are elaborated there. That is catechesis, Bible, liturgy, family, ecumenism, dialogue, RCIA, SCC, evangelization and mission in proclaiming the gospel. So to have this responsible ministry, we have categorized certain objectives and certain strategies. So we're going to deal with that. Next. So our short-term plan, what are our short-term plans? Firstly, to establish an outreach for couples seeking to be married in the Catholic Church, because the domestic church is very important. That's why that's the priority. Activate family members by inviting them to participate and share their gifts in the various ministries of the church so that they participate. Organize devotional events for families in conjunction with the liturgical seasons so that there are family functions which will depict and connect with the various liturgical seasons. Host family events and activities on a quarterly basis. Then increase participation in interreligious and ecumenical community. Next. Our long-term plans are like these. Create engaging and inspiring formation processes. Provide formation on the role of preaching as a key of encounter. Whatever our preaching should be, it should lead us to an encounter. It should lead us to an experiential experience. Then strengthen retreat experiences for all age groups. Inspire young people to participate in the life of the church. Develop ministries that support the life cycle of marriage and family. We also want to create family-centered formation. Raise the quality of Sunday experience. Provide comprehensive formation for clergy and religious. Provide comprehensive formation for interreligious dialogue and ecumenism. Develop a culture of collaboration through this. Increase the number of vocations and form Catholics to evangelize. So these were our short-term and long-term plans. Now to specify each section, for the Bible we have a goal. Make our lives based on the Word of God. This is our goal for Bible. And for that, objectives are to ensure everyone has a personal Bible, to encourage everyone to read and reflect over Bible, to ensure faith leads to action. So these are objectives, and for that the strategies that we have are right and Catholic understanding of the Bible, organized in short courses on the Bible. Then for the liturgy, the goal is clear there on the screen, meaningful and experiential celebration of the liturgy so that it doesn't remain a mundane or a kind of an event experience. So for that, the objective is liturgy should flow into life and life into liturgy. The strategies that we will be following are liturgical team that trains the parish, liturgical formation for pre-baptismal and adult catechesis. For catechesis, our goal will be formation and instruction in Christian faith for the fullness of Christian life. And for that, objectives are to make catechesis lively, attractive, biblical, and contextual. And for these, the strategies that we'll be using are use of digital media to encapsulate the catechetical teaching, then also having constant follow-up with children after matriculation. RCIN, pre-baptismal catechesis, the brainchild of our Archbishop. He has initiated that in our Archdiocese, wants it to come very strong. For that, the goal is instituting and accompanying new seekers in faith. And the objectives, preparing people, catechists for RCIA. The strategies that we'll be following are prepare sponsors, catechists who can accompany these people, and then preparing and presenting good family models. Small Christian communities, the goal, to make SCC a living church in neighborhood. Objectives, to ensure SCC becomes an instrument of evangelization. The strategies that we'll follow to strengthen SCCs are emphasizing the stress on gospel sharing, networking with the parish council and parishes. Interreligious dialogue and ecumenism. The goal is to build good relations with the other religious groups and various denominations. And the objectives, to tactfully observe and learn new perspectives and elements of truth from all people we come in contact with, which will help us perceive the realities in totality. Family Commission, the goal is to minister to the needs of all couples, parents, single, married, adults, divorced, separated, everyone. To cater to all these categories, and the objectives are to minister to the needs of couples in whatever stages they are in their marital life, helping them to live a fruitful and happy married life and to fulfill God-given vocation. So my dear fathers and sisters, these are the things, these are the goals, strategies, and objectives that we have categorized for each section, and that is what we are aiming for. This will definitely help you to have a very constructive, very fruitful group discussion. Thank you for your patient listening.
Thank you all the presenters.
It's time now we gather in our respective groups assigned to us. There are different colors and alphabets assigned to each group starting from A to L. Each alphabet has a different color.
Okay. Before we disperse for group work, I want to make the task very clear for the group. Otherwise, we are going to come around in circles. I just want to reduce. I've listened to all of you. To be inserted? No. You same the last 3 slides. Okay. I will make some quick comments. Don't take it anything negative because it is a very tough exercise. I know you have struggled and struggled. So I want to make it much simpler so that we clearly move ahead. In the group, we are going to do only 2 things. Don't look at everything. Some of you have done, for example, say like month of January to May, like plans. Don't see that now. This is not for now, clearly. All that January to the next 1 year, because this is a big picture that we are capturing for the next 10 years. We will only have the broad contours, not every detail that we will be leaving to the commissions later to work on. What are we going to do now? I'll give some examples so that the secretaries can also lead the groups. We will have one specific goal. That goal captures the changed reality after 5 years. That goal captures. For example, I'll use some example. In other words, in education, I think it comes clear. 1 minute. I know you have struggled. The goal is about holistic quality education. That's the image that you have for education. Then you have good objectives. What I would say, the strategies are not really matching now. It's fine. You will be looking at only that those 2-3 lines of the goals and the objectives. Nothing more in the group work. Nothing more. I'm just cut-shorting everything now. We'll go systematically. The process becomes easier. What is the meaning of a goal? The goal captures the changed reality in 5 years' time, 7 years' time, 10 years' time. The objectives are roadmaps to reach that goal. They are not small activities. Sponsoring, fundraising, they are activities. These are 5 big roads that will lead to that. I'll go one by one. I think you have all of those materials. The faith, for example, you need to define a goal, specific goal for the overall faith, and all the goals here mentioned will become objectives for every commission. That is, making our lives based on the Word of God is for the Bible. That's a broad objective that you have. So you have all objectives clear. I don't see the overall goal for the faith. So what is the overall goal for the faith is the one you need to articulate. Probably that will come. You may have hidden in the document, put it in that word. Then all those 5, Bible, liturgy, you have very well articulated, captured not the details, only the first title. What you have mentioned as goal, that becomes an objective under faith for the overall goal. That will be very simple document, otherwise we are doing. Then later we will break them into different activities. That will go later. Now we are getting sort of mixed up many things. The question for the group is this the goal or these the objectives? That's all the one we are answering. We are not talking about activities, we are not talking about fundraising, we are not talking about small things. So if that group can really work on what is that one goal for the entire faith life, which comprises of, you have the Bible, you have the liturgy, you have the, what is that? Liturgy, then you have RCIA and pre-baptismal, whatever, SEC, then you have interreligious, all that. These are all 5 roads leading to the deepening of the faith life. Is that clear? All these are why the church has created various bodies. It's to deepen ultimately the faith life. Is that goal that you have? These are 5. Are these the 5? Or you want to have different? Are these well articulated? That's all that group's work now. Is that clear what I'm saying? That's all. So in case if you want to reword, re-articulate those as objectives in the goal, please make it clear. That's all. The same way, education seemed to have done fairly. The goal, remove unnecessary extra words. While editing, I will do it, no problem. Within the next 10 years, all that is there. Okay. You're talking about a goal. Institutions providing holistic quality education. That's the image you have. Make it simple, very clear, blunt. Anybody who reads, that's what it is. Okay? That's it. You apparently have a good objectives. Stop with that. You want to tweak it, you want to change it. That's all the questions now. Don't go the next steps. Don't move forward. Limit only to that for the time being. We'll go to that later. In the other sector, social, I heard my friend saying a lot, but many of them I didn't find here in this document. I didn't find here. You talked about the goal is very broad. Can you make it a little more concrete? I'll say, okay, peace, equality, justice, experience, the community of Archdiocese. Seems very generic. You need to be really focused on according to the thrust area. Objectives, I'm not really pleased. They are not very clear. Because the issues that you raised, for example, non-participation of Gram Sabha, members in, there are mining lots are going on. Welfare programs are not reaching. People are not having entitlement cards. Many of the issues that you said, but there are no objectives related to that. They are hanging in the air. But they are coming later in terms of programs. Short-term, medium-term, mid-term, long-term, they are coming. So if you can re-articulate the objectives, just a goal, 2 lines, 4 or 5 bullets as objectives to reach that goal, that would be good enough. Yes?
For the job, actually, Mr. Melvin, what he presented was something else in the study which he did. Our commission is not represented here, social ministry.
I understand. I saw that. So please, you need to do. So I'm limiting the work. Nobody is asking us to do a lot of work. I'm going to make this, at the end of the day, very short document, very precise focus. That will guide us really. So let's go by this step. Just re-articulate the goal and 4 or 5 bullet points as objectives, which are roadmaps to reach the goal. It could be related to, for example, in your case, working on Gram Sabhas, strengthening Gram Sabhas to participate. That could be a major type of an objective. You can work on it. Accessing entitlement cards. I really don't know, whatever it is. Then reaching government programs to the people. These are something very clear. Then you also have something related to building critical social consciousness, all that you have. So you need to really think that I want the group to cooperate. I know they will also work a little later because we are having too much, but not very clearly. Okay, so leave the rest, that I will give you a structure later. Health, quick comment. The goal seems to be in line. The objectives are to be still really worked out. Most of your objectives, long-term, short-term, many of them revolve around a lot of activities. The objectives will be, are we talking about health awareness, largely? Really taking preventive as a main mechanism? Because we have everything here. So we have to have if you have a goal very clearly, preventive medicine, primary, secondary, tertiary healthcare facilities, counseling. So you put everything. Are these the objectives later that are going to come? Otherwise, many things, what you have expressed are at various level activities. They are important, they will come later. So tell me, what do we want to significantly see after 5 years in terms of health ministry? That's a goal. What are the 4 or 5 bullet point objectives that we are going to have? With that, just stop, so that this document becomes much more clearer. Do you have any questions on what I have said? There are good things. Some groups slightly have to tweak. So in the group, you are going to work. After reading this, this is the goal we have set. These are the 5 bullet points as roadmaps to reach the goal. Stop with that work. Nothing more. More we do, more we get confused. Just, can we limit to that? Any question, anything that you want to ask now? Yes?
Hello.
Father, just this, that I wanted to know that we are going to go into groups now.
Yeah.
And then what you pointed out, like for us, we need to have a set goal, an overall goal, one goal. And the other parameters that you pointed out for the other 3 areas. So all the groups are going to discuss on that?
Yes. Every group, they are going to look at every sector, that is 4 sectors. They will give you, not in full sentence, I think health, this is the goal they want. That's all they will say. I will explain that point, okay? What are we going to do in the group? Every group will go through this document, and after looking at it, the exercise that I'm giving, first, if you are taking health, for example, what is said is fine. This is what we take as health goal. And what objectives, I think these 4 or 5 objectives we agree, or we want to change this. That's all they are going to give you at the end of the discussion as notes to you. Is that clear? So they're not going to do a big change. That's all they're going to give. The goal, and they will pick out from here, or they may change, or they modify. This is what we suggest. They may not even give one objective, they may give. That's fine. That is from that group. At the end, I don't know how many groups we have. 9 groups will give you their inputs. The health secretary will pull them together, use that group's wisdom, rework and present it tomorrow. Is that clear? They will give you. So I will go through that process. So every group will, now next 1 hour there's going to be a group work. I will explain the method. Take one. Say what in that group felt about the goal of that sector. Faith, health, education. After going through this, I think this objective is good, but we want to introduce new. You may give 2 or 3 based on that. So your input is also taken after discernment. Tonight, these secretaries will, based on this, taking the input, they will prepare only that part. I will give you a template to present for the tomorrow, which will become work easier for you also. That you can do it later. So you are taking input from everyone, slightly modifying, tweaking it, and you will present it in a very simpler format tomorrow. That I will explain that format little later. Okay. This is going to be the group work. Okay. For me, the more methodology of the group work is very important. As you go, you will have a president and a secretary. The president to moderate and facilitate. When you go, step 1, you can take a picture of that because this is a step-by-step process you will follow. You need to follow these steps. Step 1, after hearing all these things, very important, what are your feelings? When you listen to all these 4 presentations, what are your feelings? How did you feel when goals, objectives of the 4 thematic areas were presented? Was it clear? Did you feel grateful, confused, happy, worried, shocked, felt unrealistic, hope-filled, waste of time? Express your emotion when you go to the group. The first one, step. That indicates. Then be silent for a minute. Look at everyone. Thank you for sharing, being frank in what you have said. No mind, no intellectual work, just an emotion, what you have felt after listening. It is only in the group. This need not be reported, but this is a first step to build the group bonding. You go to the group, the president will say, let's keep a minute of silence. Bring back to your mind what you have heard. Ask yourself, what is your uppermost feeling? Joy? Happiness? Confused? Disturbed? Worried? Not clear? Wasting my time? I don't know what feelings you will have. Say that. Okay? This is step 1. This is first step. Next slide. This is going to be the systematic way of discerning. The president will introduce, okay, now we are taking up education as a theme. What is mentioned here, this is the goal, these are the objectives. The individual will take a time and share whether the goals and objectives help you to capture the big picture after 5 years, 10 years. That's all you're going to say. How it is articulated, the education goal and objectives, has it helped you to capture the big picture where the diocese wants to see significantly the different place after 5 years, 8 years, 10 years? What do you appreciate? What requires improvement? What changes? This is what you are going to speak. And I want to remind you, you're not going to just talk something around. You will think after silence, you speak intentionally and you listen actively. I mean this way. I speak intentionally. This is good. This is not good for this reason, whatever it is. No arguments, no discussion at that level, but you actively listen to one another. The president will say, go one round on this. When you heard about these goals and objectives, are you clear about the big picture? What do you appreciate? What requires improvement? You listen to everybody in that group. That's a step. The second round, no discussion again. Second round is going to be, again the president will ask, now you don't emphasize what you said, but when you heard from others, what strikes you? That is step 2 I am coming. What did you hear from others? What did you hear from others? I listened to my group members. When I listen, this is what struck me most. At the first step, you are sharing whether you got the big picture. Was that clear? What do you appreciate? What do you suggest and all that? At the second step, you are talking about from what others said, what touched me most. Now you are intentionally, not only intentionally speaking, you are actively listening to others' voice. So from what others have said, this is what I have understood. This is step 2. Go one full round. First one full round, second one full round. Next, step 3. In step 3, after listening to all that, it is the job of the secretary to present, not everything, from the first round and the second round, from what I have heard, this is what I am presenting to the group as our group's contribution. Need not be everything, in brief, in bullets, in the goal, these are to become, in the objectives, these are to come. That's what that guy will present, that secretary will present. You don't need to repeat everything. You apply your mind and heart from what the individual's sharing, from what the individual said about others sharing. This is what I've got. This is what the Spirit is asking us as our group contribution. Very short, this as a goal, these as objectives. Maybe one goal or few words and 1 or 2 objectives. That's all. Once it is done, give thanks to God, close that theme. Then the president says, we move to the next theme. The same process. Are these steps clear or not clear? I know initially it will take time. Once you get used into it, it will go fast. I repeat, go. The previous slide, that's all. Okay, first step, just your emotions after heard. Be honest. If it was very clear, say clear. If it was confusing, say confusing. Not clear. Up to you. It's in your group. You'll have to do that. Second round, take one theme, pray and share. Yes, I get a clear picture of this theme, thrust area. The big picture is clear to me. I might add this word to that. And I think these objectives are clear. I would say maybe 1 or 2 objectives could be added. Stop. Go one full round. Second round. Yes, I said something, but after listening to groups, this is what I feel God is telling us. That's what you are saying. In the second round, after listening to everybody, though I thought one way, I'm changing, but from listening to others, I think that is important. That is what you are sharing. After these 2 rounds of sharing, the secretary presents under this thematic area, this is what I have picked up as a goal, and these 2 or 3 bullets as objectives. Pass that, move to the next thematic area. Are these steps clear or not clear? Are these steps clear? Once you get involved, it will go fast. But be quiet, calm, no arguments, but you express intentionally, actively listen to one another, then say what you want. Is this methodology clear? This is called spiritual conversation methodology, which we adopt more or less everywhere. It's a conversation that we are doing, not argument. No, my points are bigger, your points are smaller, you don't, I don't. No, listen to everybody. The secretary will have a role to say. So I don't expect from the group a big Under health, you may give me 4 lines to that person concerned. Under education, you may give 3 lines, 4 lines at the end of the day. That's all you will get. Okay? It's done. Afterwards, that secretariat, I will guide them, those secretaries, how to rework and present it tomorrow. Is this part clear now? So we are not expecting. First, understand, own up, make your suggestions, comments on those. That's all. Okay, can we go for the group work? Please come forward. Divide the group, and I would suggest if you are 3:30 are going, minimum 1 hour better you spend. We will articulate, adjust the timing later, not an issue. 5 o'clock we can come back. So you will go for the group work at 3:30, go till 4:30. For each thematic area, 12 minutes you can spend. So within 1 hour, 4:30 we'll go for a tea. Supposing you want first, maybe I will do this way. I think we need to do justice. Go till 4:45, because the first time you are doing this type of a thing, go till 4:45 initially to settle down, you need some time. 4:45, then once you finish, please the secretary in separate papers write the conclusions, because you will tear the paper and give it to that person concerned. Separate paper, 1 sheet. Maybe in your notebook itself, just 1 sheet on that. That's all. After that, you write down, pass it on to the secretary. 4:45, we'll break for tea. Then Vivian will announce when we will come back afterwards. Go ahead, group.
Good evening, everyone. If you look carefully, all of you have these badges. Please take a good look at these badges. On your badges, you'll realize that each of them are different color-coded, and they have a number written on them. Can you see a number written on them? Everybody has a number written on their badges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay? 12 also. We have numbers up to 12. So what has happened is there are some groups where there are more members, some groups where there are less members. So I have clubbed 3 groups. So when I take your number and tell you where to go, you will get up and go for your group discussion. Okay? So the first one is group number 1. Who all have group number 1? Please raise your hand. Group number 1. Okay. Group number 1 has to go to class number Junior KGA. We are using 2 floors. First floor and the second floor. There's only 1 group on the second floor. All the groups are on the other groups are on the first floor. So group number 1, please get up. And you have to go to Junior KGA. Junior KGA is right in the corner there. Group number 1, please get up. You can use this staircase on my left. Group number 1, Junior KGA, class number. Chairs and everything is provided in the classroom. As soon as you meet in your group, please appoint a president and a secretary. I repeat, as soon as you meet in your group there on top, please appoint a president and a secretary. Group number 2, you will go to Senior KGA on my right. Group number 2, who all have group number 2, please raise your hands. Senior KGA on my right. Please use this staircase and you can go up. Group number 2. I repeat, those who have group number 2 on their badges, you all are 22 of you. Senior KGA. Group number 2, Senior KGA. Group number 1 has already gone. Now, group number 3 and 7, these 2 groups are combined. Group number 3 and group number 7. Please raise your hands, those who have 3 and 7. Okay. You all are 22 of you again, 22 people in the group. Okay, you have to go to class number Junior KGC. Junior KGC. So please get up, group number 3 and 7. Group number 3 and 7, class number Junior KGC. Okay, please move a little faster. Thank you. The next 2 groups that are clubbed together are group number 4 and group number 9. Please check your badges, group number 4 and group number 9. This is one group. group number 4 and group number 9. You all should be 25 of you. You have to go to class senior KGC. Senior KGC is this side. Group number 4 and 9, please raise your hands. Okay. You have to go up this side. On my right, senior KGC. Okay. The next group that is clubbed together is group number 5 and 6. Group number 5 and 6, please raise your hands. Group number 5 and 6. Okay. You should be 19 of you in the group. Class Junior KGB on my left. Junior KGB. Group number 5 and 6. The next group is group number 8. You are 21 of you in the group. Class number Senior KGB. Senior KGB on my right. Senior KGB on my right, on top, first floor. Group number 8, Senior KGB on my right. Okay, the next group is group number 10. You all are 24 of you. You have to go to class Junior KGD. Junior KGD, group number 10. Junior KGD on my left. Group number 10. Okay. The next group is group number 11. You all have to go to Senior KGD. Group number 11, Senior KGD on my right. Group number 11, Senior KGD on my right. Group number 8 is Senior KGB. Yeah. Sorry. What do you say? Okay. The last group, group number 12, you are 20 of you. You have to go to class 2B on the second floor. You can see uncle there already waiting on the second floor. Group number 12, class number 2B. You should be about 20 of you. Group number 12. Once you meet in your groups, please appoint a president and a secretary first. If anyone doesn't have any groups, or if there is some kind of confusion, please come and meet me here. Father Narendra? Which group?
feel is this, all these we have got both Bible, liturgy, and catechism. All are based on the Word of God. All are based on the Word of God. Liturgy there is the Word of God, and Bible is based on the Word of God, and catechism we are teaching there, baptism, catechism, and all have got the basic thing is there, and everything is the Word of God.
इसको put change.
And here, now, since we have this Word of God, how do we personalize it?
He has given us a kind of another way of looking at it. We are thinking whatever we have prepared is right, like goals are there. Something like that. So when Father explained that whatever things we have put as goal, now it has become as objectives. So we need to think more creatively. That was the thing came to my mind.
He's asking for a single word.
Yes.
He's asking for a single. He doesn't want long stories. He wants one word.
Yeah.
So which is your
More enlightened.
which is closest to that?
Enlightened. Enlightened.
As for me, sister, try to speak to this word.
Yes,
You go faster.
as for me, I belong to the same group of 10 committee. We have been sitting for many times, and my first understanding of what I have to do, and today after hearing and after seeing our draft, it's a bit clear for me, and also there is a kind of